You are listening to NSR, National Scrubs Radio, where nurses, doctors, students, and other healthcare professionals bring you stories from scrubs across the nation. Tune in today with NSR's Derek J.
This is my friend Emily, who's joined us today at NSR. How are you doing today?
Hi, I am good. Thank you, Derek.
Oh, thank you. You're so polite right now.
I try.
You try.
Yeah.
Well, you are the first female that I've interviewed for NSR. The first few interviews have been all guys, all nurses.
Oh, well, here I am. I'm just a nurse.
You're so
Male, female. I mean,
does it matter?
It doesn't matter. Once you're a nurse, it kind of everything just falls. It's all leveled. The playing ground is leveled.
Got it. So what do you feel about working with guys compared to females? Is there a difference between when you're on the floor as a nurse, or is it all kind of an even playing field for you?
No, there isn't. I mean, I do know that guys have better upper body strength.
Okay.
And so I will usually ask them for stuff that involves that, like trying to get a really heavy patient up in bed or moving around or just crazy things. And guys also have creative ideas. Women have creative ideas too, but men have ideas that like the women didn't think of and vice versa. So I'll be like, hey, Bob, what do you think about this situation? And he'll be like, well, analytically speaking. And like,
so he goes more into like an engineering mindset or something. More technical, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's fun to get their ideas about stuff.
Well, see, like as a guy that's been a nurse or the only male on the floor, I used to hate when all the females say, hey, can you help me boost this patient? And it's like, I have my 4 other patients that are super heavy right now. I can't be the lift team for the whole entire floor right now.
It must suck, but sorry, you're the lift team for the whole floor.
See, that's so tough.
I know.
That's so tough as far as being a male and a majority female industry.
I don't want to drive you away from nursing and other men away from nursing by like exploiting your upper body strength.
Okay.
But it's really hard, even on our floor, which is a surgical floor. It's really hard. The work is actually hard on our backs. And so we're, and I hurt my back at work a couple years ago.
And how did you do that?
There was a patient's husband she had a liver resection and her husband was hanging out. Big fella, tall, kind of fat, and kind of overweight. And he was having an MI. He's like, I have a little chest pain. I'm an MI, complete. And I was like, I'm going to need you to just lay down in this chair right now.
Right. Started
some vital signs, called rapid response. As we were getting him into the gurney, as he laid down in the gurney, I tried to like lift the head of the gurney up, and it dropped
instantly. With the guy still on the gurney? With the
guy still on it, and so I hurt my thoracic spine a little bit.
Ooh, how long were you out for?
I was out for several months.
Several months.
Yeah. Turned out that a lot of the pain, just like a lot of older nurses say, was psychological.
So during that off time from work, were you on a lot of dating apps, watching a lot of Netflix? How did you occupy your time away from the hospital?
I spent most of my time dealing with not unemployment insurance. What's it called? Disability.
Okay.
Things.
Got it.
It was more painful than the actual pain. But yeah, Netflix was always good.
Netflix.
The dating apps here and there.
Fostering cats, right? Or something, being a cat.
Yeah, fostering kittens.
Kittens, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Is there a big difference between...
Well, my friend Haley Beggs, she lives in Louisville, Kentucky, just FYI. She calls them all Kattens. So just call them Kattens.
Well, I'd like to see, like, how many cats do you foster? You see, I think there's an explanation where it's like, okay, I foster these cats. There's a reason why I have 18 of them or however many that you do have. How many?
What are you driving at? What do you
Well,
mean, like,
I'm just saying, how many cats do you own? Or a foster, I should
it's
say.
however many kittens the mama cat gave birth to. And I take them home and we get them until they're ready to be weaned and they weigh enough. And then I send them back.
Got it.
Because I'm just not ready for a forever cat. I'm not ready.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
It's almost like being at the hospital. Like, you don't want to be someone's like full-time patient care person, but you enjoy being like seeing someone going through the motions of surgery and then going home and being discharged and everything else. It's almost like that for your Kattens.
That nice use of the word. And that whole theme of what you're saying is something I would like to bring back into this conversation at a later point.
Uh-oh. And in what way?
In reference to career.
Career.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to be a full-time cat foster or cat?
No. No, girl, no.
No?
Oh, hell no.
For everybody, I'm kind of just, poking fun at Emily because I give her a hard time about her cats. But Emily.
My cats?
Oh,
No.
oh, not
they're
your
not
cats.
my cats.
How did you get involved? Go away from the subject. How did you get involved into nursing or healthcare?
Well, I was having a bunch of cats, and no, I'm just kidding. I wasn't having cats. I actually wanted to be a doctor, and it would have been a second career, but I didn't really have a first career. But I had my degree in psychology, and I was just floating around in the world. I floated long enough to know that I was ready for something else, and I was like, you know what? I'm pretty good at science, and I like people. And another thing I like is money. So I'll be a doctor. Okay. And I was in Boston, Massachusetts when I was having this revelation. So I was like, all right. But I was engaged at the time. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll do nurse practitioner because that's a little bit more of a flexible schedule for getting married and having babies and stuff. So I was like, okay, instead of being a doctor, I'll do nurse practitioner. And I applied to a bunch of schools and I got in to Simmons College in Boston. And I went through their nurse practitioner program.
Nice.
So 18 months in, I hated nursing school and I thought I was going to hate nursing because of that. Now, Simmons College is like a military school. They're mean there. And
this is nursing school.
This is nursing. This is second degree nursing, 18-month RN, and then another 18 months you get your NP.
So this was like an accelerator program?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Well, those are kind of like military. Right? I mean, like you're dedicated for that program. There's not much else you can do. Yeah.
But it's like if the military was all women. So not only was it like military, but it was also like a lot of bitchiness and cattiness and blah. So I was like, okay, I guess when I'm done with my 18 months, I'll just become a pharmaceutical sales rep because that's pretty much all I want to do.
Right. Got it.
Because I can't do this. This is horrible. And then my I didn't even think about nurse practitioner because I was like, I got to get out of this. You
have to change careers completely.
Yeah.
And then did you decide to do something else, or was it just like I'll stick to nursing and just finish?
No, I was like, I'll just try to get a job in nursing and see what happens. And so my first day on the job, I'm in the suburbs of Boston, and I get there, and they're all unorganized. This beautiful hospital in the woods. It's like this little community hospital, and I show up, and there's like eight patients per nurse. And they're just like, what? Who are you? Oh, yeah, you're that person that was going to start. Oh, well, we don't have anybody to precept you, so.
Just jump in.
Anyway, just maybe Barb. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just like look for Barb. And I looked at Barb's assignment and she had the following like 8 patients. And where I was like, where's Barb? And she's like, well, I think she's an 8 because he has a nosebleed. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll just put my stuff down and go to room 8 and see if I can help. And he was bleeding a lot from his nose and he was laying down in bed flat. And I was like, hey, let's put the head of the bed up to help the bleeding slow down.
And you just started as a nurse.
This was my first day.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And I was like, okay. But
now, was it a small nosebleed or was it actually like something?
No, it was not a small nosebleed. And this actually just happened a couple of days ago with another patient. But no, this guy is bleeding out of his nose. In nursing, it's called epistaxis.
Right.
Like, that's the dumbest word. But it was pouring out. And I was like, okay, let's put the head of the bed up. Blah, blah, blah,
right.
So we called the ENT and he came and he cauterized it. And that's when my relationship between nursing and Barbara Bloom, who was the
Okay.
nurse there, the beautiful relationship between nursing and Barbara Bloom started.
But after seeing that episode, or you want to call it, did that make you want to fulfill or continue with nursing, or was it something like, I'm still not sure if I want to continue with this?
Oh, no. It made me want. I was like, oh, okay, I have something to offer.
So the pain of nursing school was like, screw this, I want something else. But once you got into the real world job and actually saw what was going on, you're like, dude, I totally want to do this now.
Exactly.
So how long were you at Boston, and did you go anywhere else after that?
I was there. I was in Boston for maybe 3-4 years, and then I came out to California. I was a
Okay.
travel nurse.
And what was the catalyst for you to do travel nursing?
Well, I love the Boston area, but I came out because I had family out here my sister had recently moved out here, and she started having babies and stuff, and so I was like, I got to be out there, and California's beautiful, and so I came out and to be with my nieces and experience California, and I found out that California is not one of the, but the best paying state to be a nurse.
I have to agree with that.
And not only that, but the ratios, they have the actually ratios by law. And
I feel like this is a 1990s East Coast versus West Coast thing. Like I feel like East Coast nursing is completely different than in California or West Coast in general.
it's like the Bloods and the Crips a little bit. Like, it's like out east, they're like, well, at least our PCAs do stuff. And out west, they're like, well, that must be nice having 10 patients
Right.
in the
Yeah.
daytime. It is true. Like out east, in my experience,
It's
my
a-
PCAs, Jackie for one. Jackie's a famous PCA. Jackie and Edith, the two first PCAs I ever met in my life, are two of the most amazing people on PCAs I've ever met. They'll do everything.
Right.
They'll get stuff organized for you.
Right.
Out here, it's like, okay, it's nurses. Nurses do it all.
Right.
PCAs do a lot, but
It's a different system.
it's a different
just different system. I mean, like the ratios are a lot smaller, but you're right. So the techs, CNAs, PCAs, it's just like, for instance, back east when I was there, they did a lot more in a sense of removing Foleys, taking out IVs, checking blood sugars. And I'm sure there's some PCAs in California do that. It's not a knock on PCAs, but the system is completely different out here in the West. And I actually think it's better. I really do. I mean, like,
I do too.
It's better. I mean, like, it's not a knock on PCAs whatsoever. It's just,
Out here, you mean?
yeah, out here in California, it's just on the East Coast, it's just a different system. It really is.
It's a different system. And we have a lot to improve upon. And I believe, as well as you do, that California, the law around nursing and the culture around nursing in California and the pay, of course,
Mm-hmm.
are all what the rest of the country needs to come to eventually, slowly.
Something has to happen.
There was an article recently about nursing salaries increasing. I didn't click on the article because I was too tired, maybe drunk or something, but it needs to happen. And what I love about the CNA, California Nurses Association, is that they are the model. They're the model for all unions nationwide. And that's their goal, is to be the model for other states and for other states to do it. And maybe someday having a united,
Some type of united system.
a federal nursing union. I don't know. That sounds really like
I don't know.
official.
To me, that would be
maybe keep it statutory, but
right. Because then it gets very political and everything else.
keep it statutory,
Yeah.
but like, hey, maybe have some influence on other states.
Or get the business leaders involved too. I mean, it's not just you need someone to represent you in that way.
What's a business leader?
Someone on the boards with the hospitals and stuff.
Oh, you mean within?
Well, yeah.
within
I mean,
nursing.
sometimes I feel like those kind of things could be taken care of within. I mean, like,
Of course they could.
absolutely. You don't, but California is definitely a model that a lot of places around the country can look at. And it's not a knock on all the places around the country, but the salaries in some of these states are just insane to me for what nurses do.
It's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you could call it blue collar in other states, but blue collar workers actually may even make more
right,
in certain states.
right,
If you are a construction worker, you may make $40 an hour. This is just an example, random, like made up. But like Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you could make $40 as a construction worker, but as a nurse, you only make $35.
right.
So in California, I feel like nursing is I don't know, maybe blue collar and white collar are not, they don't apply anymore. And I don't think they apply anymore. But that's the culture I grew up in.
Right.
I mean, I'm 42. Like, that's how I was raised, is like, there's blue collar and there's white collar, and then there's not having a job at all.
And where did you grow up? Like what?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
the suburbs.
That's very like blue collar, like what they consider a blue collar state, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a lot of steel workers and stuff like that. I mean, so do you think that image from living in Pittsburgh kind of gave you that idea of like white collar, blue collar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely
Absolutely.
ingrained, right? Like where you're from, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like when I came out here to California, nursing, I even the outlook or the respect you get for like what your occupation is as a nurse is a lot different than say on the East Coast. Or at least my experience on the East Coast. I can't speak for everyone on the East Coast. It's easy to paint a broad picture, of all the states, all the hospitals, but I feel like you're more respected out here as well.
Well, money talks, and the amount that we are paid speaks volumes in respect.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you traveled now. Did you only travel in California or did you go to any other states?
I traveled in California because
Okay.
I wanted to sort of check out different areas here where I wanted to live, because I wanted to stay in California for obvious reasons that we've already spoken about.
Yeah. Well, in California, it's like a lot of travelers, this is where they come home. This is where they like make home, call it home, and retire almost. I mean, like how many travelers do you know?
I mean, it's not rocket science.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people that pick up per diem to just fly in. I know people that fly from out of the country just to work in California.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like Central America, like it's the
What
economy.
do they do?
They fly in per diem gigs, like
Once a month?
Yeah, they'll do like sometimes you need 4 shifts a month, and then they'll cover like there are 2 months and one trip. And then, because they'll like work at the end of 1 month and the beginning of the next month.
Oh, right.
And then fly right back. It just goes you to show you the scales of the economy when it comes to.
I know.
And
I wish I could do that. I did.
It would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
But Oakland, expensive. I mean, I understand why salaries are here a lot more than some other places, but I just can't imagine some of the pay around the country.
No. So I've done extensive analysis on this. The Northern California area, the ratio between the nursing pay and the cost of living, it's the balls. I mean, it's like that's it. Yes, there is a higher cost of living here.
Yeah.
Yes, but the nursing pay far outweighs that. It's not like, oh, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Oh, you live here, you get paid this, but it only costs this to live. Here, you only get paid this, but no, California exceeds all of that. Even with the cost of living. I mean, I don't know any nurses living in penthouses downtown, but like,
you can live comfortably, even in the outlier of the country, because San Francisco and the Bay Area has the most expensive rent in the country.
Mm-hmm.
But even with that, you can still live comfortably. I feel like in other places, it might be a struggle.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how it is like in Denver, Colorado, or places like that.
Denver's terrible.
Well, places where, rent's being jacked up, but like, what are the salaries?
Yes.
In nursing?
That's what's happening actually in Denver is a good example.
Do you have a lot of friends back there, or?
I do have some friends back there. They're doing good. They're not travel nurses at this time, but yes, the nursing salary is not budging over there, but the cost of living is going up
It's
because
just jacked
people
up,
have
yeah.
figured out, like myself, I so much enjoy Denver. I've considered moving there myself. I like that city.
Right.
Not just because there's men there. Menver is what they call it.
Menver, is that what you call
And
it?
don't let anybody...
That's actually, I never heard that before.
Yeah, Menver. It's a thing, but don't let anybody tell you that it's Man Jose. Okay?
Oh.
That's not true.
So how is dating out here in the Bay Area?
I mean, when I say Menver, I always think of Man Jose.
Got it.
Well, I don't fit in out here.
No?
I don't like the guys. The guys don't like me. It's mutual. We have a mutual understanding of...
There's plenty of guys in the Bay Area, though. I mean, there's tons. So what's the what is the issue with the men out here in Oakland?
Oh my! Where do I even begin? It's not Oakland per se.
Okay.
It's just
The Bay Area. Like what?
I have given them so many chances.
Okay.
So many chances. But it's like, nope, I'm more important. I'm the thing. I'm it. I'm awesome. It's just an arrogance that is unavoidable.
I mean, are you dating people in tech? I mean, I always hear the term tech bros. Or like, are you sticking to nurses or doctors? Or are you staying in the healthcare arena? Are you doing the whole like police firefighter thing? I mean, I feel like nurses and
my type of guy is like a police firefighter.
Okay.
Some community type guy.
Okay.
I mean, classically, like that's what I go for.
That is definitely a theme.
But I don't know. It's just not in the stars for me here.
I think you still find people out here. I think he's like, I mean, there's so many dating apps out here.
Yeah, they don't work for me. I'm too picky. It doesn't work. And listen, I am the person. You gotta give it a shot. Oh,
you tried.
Yes. If you could see my eyes right now, yes.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. But like, I mean, sometimes you gotta be like Rocky. Like, no matter how many times you just get beat up and put,
Oh, I did the Rocky thing.
Yeah?
I did the Rocky thing for a year.
So, like what?
I even had
Are you
my
in Rocky
sister.
2, Rocky 3?
Rocky 5. I did Rocky 5. Okay, my sister.
Well, there's 7 Rockies. You know that, right? There's like 6 or 7 Rockies.
My sister used to work. There's like fucking 11 Rockies. Okay. My sister works in public relations.
Uh-huh.
She is like, well, maybe what's wrong is happening with your online profile. So she's like, let's update your online profile.
Okay.
No, that didn't work.
No, not at all.
It's not gonna work.
So, do you have anybody that you've dated that have an issue with you being a nurse?
No, they freaking love it.
Yeah?
Especially when I did professional singing. They were like, oh, you're a singer and a nurse? That's so cool. And now on this podcast, I'm thinking, wait a second. Maybe I'm attracting guys who are looking for something
different.
Like a fantasy.
Okay. So you think they're painting a picture of what they want you to be?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should just put on there that I'm just like,
Maybe you should set the expectations really low.
My career is data entry.
There you go. Okay.
And I don't enjoy the outdoors. Like, I should just put that on there.
You hate...
this podcast is really like opening up new opportunities and avenues.
Maybe we should have a whole thing, find Emily a man. Oh, she spit out her drink. Yeah, I like where this is going right now.
That's not the first time I've laughed at something Derek said.
Yeah. I think we have something here. Maybe we should definitely do a dating profile for the podcast and see if we can. I mean, I would hate to put you out there and blast you out there and you get all these weirdos and stuff, but maybe we can make it a mission for this podcast.
I'm good with weirdos.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well, everyone has a little weird in them, right?
Well, I mean, I've been working out, so,
You working out the weird, or are you just working out?
No, I've been working out.
Okay.
So I feel strong enough to, I could,
okay, you can take them on.
I can take them on, and then, we weed them out.
So what type of guys, like, on the occupation spectrum have you dated? Is it just all firefighters, policemen, or...
Oh God, I wish.
Yeah.
No, it's only I
don't know if
like
the Oakland PD is listening right now.
So unemployed firefighter. He was kind of doughy. I couldn't get into it. Couldn't get into it.
No.
That's not to say I wouldn't date a doughy guy.
Yeah.
I was just not attracted to this particular doughy guy. So firefighters. That was one or two firefighters. 2 firefighters.
Okay.
Both, duds for me in the long run.
Got it.
A lot of software engineers, of course.
Out here in the Bay Area?
Yeah. Independently wealthy.
Okay.
Okay, must be nice.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. The rest, I've blocked them all out of my mind. It's just like, it's the past.
Well,
I wish I could remember more details
Oakland
for this
or
podcast.
The SFPD or firefighters are listening right now, I think we have a lovely lady here by name of Emily. And I think we should definitely make a profile for you. We should actually do a test, put a profile up and see who responds and see if we can get you a guy.
All right.
Are you up for the challenge?
Oh,
Would you do it?
Oh, I am up. Rocky 5. You're looking at Rocky 5 right here.
It's not going to be Tinder. I can promise you. Let's stay away from those stupid apps like that.
Exactly.
Okay. So we'll put you on something.
I mean, I'm like Rocky moving the hay barrels from like the barn to the thing. Like that's Rocky 5.
Okay.
I'm good.
Find this nurse and man. We'll see if we can make it happen.
All right.
Well, thanks for joining, Emily. I appreciate you coming out today and being on the podcast.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening to NSR.
Thank you so much for listening to NSR, National Scrubs Radio, with your host, Derek J. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit Facebook and Twitter at Nat Scrubs Radio. We'll catch you next time.